Wow, what a day Friday was for football news, and maybe less of a good day for Evertonians. But I'm here to tell you exactly why hope is not lost on Everton's survival, and actually exactly why they're 100% staying up this season. Now, I'm an absolutely massive admirer of this Sean Dyche side, and the way he sets up his team, which massively breaks down the kind of weak narrative around him that he plays this, 4-4-2, long ball, Brexit football that is just horrible to watch because it's not true. On the surface, we see an initial setup of a 4-4-1-1 with the midfield trio of dreams. I genuinely believe that outside of the top 8, there's not a midfield that is better than this current Everton one. We have Abdoulaye Doucouré operating as a second striker, feeding off of long balls being pumped up to Calvert-Lewin, who wins just under 6 aerial duels per game as the focal point of this Everton attack. I know I might have just contradicted myself right there, but I promise you, it's not all about long balls. Doucouré performs this second striker role very well because with the way Dyche looks to defend, his side becomes almost a 4-5-1 as to try and nullify central area threats, force balls out wide into the channels for the opposition to try and whip crosses in onto, two centre-halves that are very, very solid in the air, and overall brilliant defenders in James Tarkowski and Jarrad Branthwaite. At the age of 21, I genuinely think that Branthwaite is one of the best centre-halves for his age category in world football. But let's take a quick look at exactly why I think that. There's no doubt he's a big physical presence. I mean, he's over 6'4" and currently applying his trade next to a notoriously aggressive and physical presence in Tarkowski. But what makes Branthwaite so perfect for a Sean Dyche side, specifically this Everton one, is his excellent ability to recover play. Looking at Everton's average positions in their game against Crystal Palace, see both fullbacks massively trying to contribute to the attacking output of this Everton side as they look to get forward and support the wide men in putting in dangerous balls into the final third, and kind of creating 2v1 scenarios with fullbacks to, again, create the opportunity for crossing movements. But that then obviously creates these gaps along the flanks for teams to really exploit. And to combat that, you need to have centre-halves that are very capable defending wide areas, to have the speed and game awareness to perform well in these game scenarios. And them two traits right there are something that Jarrad Branthwaite certainly has in his arsenal, shown by the fact he sits in the top 3% for recoveries won in the Premier League this season. But to move back to the midfield, and we have two invaluable assets. Amadou Onana is a special football player, and the fact that he remained at Goodison this summer is absolutely huge in this, what now seems to be, a relegation fight. If you've watched me for a while now, you know how much I like these players that can perform in a high volume of different positions across the pitch, whether it be in different game states, different game scenarios, but just overall being very strong in multiple different places across the pitch. And that is something that Sean Dyche has definitely facilitated within Onana's game. And it's also a massive part in the Everton success on the pitch this season. If we compare the midfield as heat maps between this season and last, you see that he's starting to appear within the first phase a lot more often. This allows the Toffees to sometimes beat the press in different ways than just sending up a long ball. He's able to do this because of his natural composure and obviously massive physical presence, which obviously allows him to just retain possession fairly well. And when partnered with someone like James Garner, who attempts a lot more risky, dangerous and creative passes, someone needs to be there that will happily retain possession, keep play ticking, and that's almost exactly what Onana does. Now, I'm not discrediting Garner by any means. I mean, he sits in the top 15% for most chances created by midfielders in the Premier League this season, and that is brilliant. And in fact, what he brings to the team really does help the midfield to have a nice balance to it. You obviously got Doucouré, who does very well in the final third, got decent at progressing play. You've then also got Onana, who's excelling in the first phase at the moment, but also wins a lot of duels in the midfield, can still progress play quite well. And then you've got Garner, who's a little bit more creative, kind of contributes to that final third output a lot more as from deeper roles, creates chances and things like that. So we have this kind of trio which is very, very balanced. And for me, the term balance is very key to this Everton team, because I think it really does summarise the Sean Dyche system. We see almost a perfect combination between a heart in your sleeve, low block, defend, die for the 3 points team, mixed within styles that have a lot of flair to their game and creativity. Whether it be Dwight McNeil's excellent crossing, Jack Harrison's direct running, or Amadou Onana's just pure class on the ball. There's two styles, as in obviously the gritty, hard-working defensive stuff that Dyche is known for, but also this attacking flair that has a lot of elegance in the way they play. So now that we've looked at some of the terrific talent within this side and how Dyche is getting the most from it, I think it's best to delve further into the club, the mentality of the fans, manager, and the squad as a whole. Sean Dyche is definitely a manager that enjoys that sort of us versus the world narrative. He spent over 9 seasons at Turf Moor with almost the whole country despising Burnley because they somehow were escaping relegations in crazy ways, even getting Europe at points whilst also playing this gritty, hard-working football that people just didn't seem to click with. But despite everyone hating Burnley under Sean Dyche, I think that he actually fits Everton more than anyone else. A lot of Premier League fans dislike the Toffees, and also now with this massive setback of a -10 points deduction, there's a massive wall up between the rest of the league and Everton. But these problems and the narrative really does facilitate the energy that Sean Dyche likes to have. Like I said before, it is everyone against Everton, and Dyche, the Ginger Mourinho, thrives off that. So with that mentality, I also think Everton fans will thrive off that themselves. I think Goodison Park is going to be absolutely rocking for the foreseeable future, specifically after this international break. They've got Manchester United coming up, and I can 100% see them getting the full 3 points comfortably as well. It's going to be bouncing, the players are going to be up for it as a result. Dyche is obviously going to be up for it. And I just think, as much as obviously it's going to have a negative effect overall, I mean, putting the relegation zone is never a nice place to be. I don't think there's a better manager you could have at the wheel to kind of help you get out of this scenario. On top of the fact that we also have 3 of the worst promoted teams I think we've ever seen promoted to the Premier League, so it could actually be the best season for it to happen to Everton, and they could very well so escape it and look to next season where they can build on and not be anywhere near a relegation fight for a long time. So do I believe that Everton deserved this sort of heavy repercussions? I do think that something did have to happen. I mean, you've broke the rules, you need to be punished for it. Is it a little bit over the top? I'm not sure. Is it not enough? Again, I'm not sure. I want you guys to let me know in the comments though if you think it's right and just that Everton gets such a big punishment, or if you think, you know, Premier League, stop being a bit, you know, you're being a bit unfair, mate. But either way, I think that we need to really see a massive acceleration in other investigations. I know it's going to take longer for the likes of Man City, but we know that Everton and Man City are not the only teams that are in massive financial issues in terms of breaching rules. There's many other teams that's been mentioned already, and I would really like to see these kind of investigations, to, as I said before, accelerated and brought further forward, because it would only make it fair and a fair playing field. If you have enjoyed today's video, guys, then please do leave a like and subscribe. I want to say a massive thank you for the nominations for the Football Content Awards. It was an unbelievable night last Thursday at Anfield, so if any Everton fans are watching, you might not like that, but honestly, it was an honour to be there, and I appreciate you all for supporting me. You're all legends, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.